Yeah, hi everybody. This video that I'm about to do now is something I've been meaning to do for ages. It's been requested quite a few times. When I actually spoke about mine and Chris's wedding on one of my videos, I did say that if you were interested in hearing about the wedding, that I would share it with you. And I've had I've had loads actually of requests over the months asking me, and I thought it was about time that I did it, so I'm going to do it today. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sort of point the camera at the wedding album to start with, okay? Alright, you should be able to see it. Chris is in the shower, so it might be making a little bit of a noise, but so this is our wedding album. And we got married in, I'm hoping you can see there, let me try and angle you around a bit more, down to the album, there we go, that's a bit better I think. We got married in 2007 on the 1st of December, and this is the front cover. We got married at the Bora Lawn in the New Forest in Hampshire. So when we decided to get married, we decided to go for the big wedding, not in a church, but we got married in a country house hotel in the New Forest in Hampshire. Now, we've both previously been married. I already had my great big white wedding that I wanted, that we all dream of, many years ago. Chris didn't have that, and you know, we were a lot older, and it was only in 2007, so we were a lot older. We didn't need anything for a home. We had a home, we had everything we wanted in the home, and so we decided we would have the big wedding just so that we could have the memories of having our children there, because, you know, in the traditional way, your children aren't part of your wedding, aren't they? Let's face it, let alone grandchildren. So we thought we'd go for the big wedding. It was a really nice album with memories of all of our children there and what they, you know, what they looked like then. And obviously we've had more grandchildren born since the wedding, but that was the reasoning behind it. We could afford to do it. If we couldn't have afforded to do it, we wouldn't have done, but at the time we could afford to do it. At that time we were both working. Chris was in a really well-paid job in working for an investment bank in the city of London, in the city, and I was working, and you know, we could afford to put our money into this, which is why we did it. So I'm not saying this is how everyone should do it if they're remarrying. It's just something we wanted to do. We wanted to bring the family together. We wanted a special day, and we wanted lots of memories in like the pictures and everything. So, and also like Chris, he hadn't had this big wedding before. So now you've got your history, I'll show you the pictures. There, I think you can see them okay. So I'll open the front. And anyway, these were the invitations. We had these made, and they were made into scrolls, and then they were all tied up with ribbon, and they were put into boxes, and the boxes were actually sent out in the post to people. Welcome to the wedding of Leslie Ann and Chris, Saturday the 1st of December 2007, 2 p.m, the Bora Lawn Hotel. And then it's got the bridal party, and then it's got bride's escort, which is my son Luke. It's got ushers, best man, bridesmaids and page boys there. My shoes, I think you're seeing them okay. So this was my wedding shoes. I'm hoping you're seeing all of this. Let me try and angle the camera a bit better for you. Okay, so this was my daughter Holly helping me with my makeup in the hotel, because of course we stayed there the night before the wedding, and we stayed at the Carey's Manor Hotel in Brockenhurst. The reason I wanted to stay there was because They've got an in and out drive. We were having a horse and carriage, so we wanted something that we could just sort of sweep in and out of. This is Hannah getting ready, Holly getting ready. There we go. I'm going to try a different way of trying to show you this, guys, because I'm not doing too good. Okay, so here, if I show you here, this is Holly and Hannah. Obviously it was a winter wedding and it was Christmas themed, and so I went with sort of burgundies, and I had like I had an ivory coloured dress, and the girls had like this little fur capes to keep the shoulders warm. This was the girls helping me into my dress and into my shoes. Here's a picture here of the back of my dress. My daughter helped me do it up. It's my son Luke. He gave me away, and he turned up with flowers and a lovely card, and it's Holly reading it to me with the 4-poster room. It was beautiful. Yeah, these two here are the grandchildren. They were my only grandchildren that had been born at the time, and they were little page boys, and they literally, not Ethan up here, but Max. Is that Max at the bottom? Yeah, Max here. Ethan had already started walking, but Max was really late in walking. He'd just started walking so that he could walk down the aisle, and these are our bouquets here. Okay, this colour here is taken from the boys' like cravats, waistcoats, that sort of thing, and the girls' dresses. So here we all are, having a little cuddle. There I am in my dress, and again there in my dress. I'll explain a little bit more about the dress when I show it to you. It's such a heavy book, guys. Right, so backdrop of this photograph was taken from the bouquets. So there I am, sort of meant to be looking all like, you know, forlorn, I suppose. And here. Okay, so this was our horse or horses I should say, and our carriage. This one has actually been used. I wanted something that was would fit in with the type of wedding, the colours we wanted to achieve, and the sort of style of our wedding. This particular one had been used, has been used quite a lot of TV programmes actually, so it was a little bit on the pricey side, but you know. Is Holly holding Ethan, that's her little boy, and Hannah is in the back here, and she's got Max on her lap, and this is Ryan and Harry, they're Chris's grandsons on his side. And here he is in his full glory, Mr. Sparkle. It was Christmas, you know, Christmas wedding, and I said to the Bulmer lawn, I said, is there any chance you could get your tree up that little bit earlier? They're like, yeah, of course, no problem. I mean, after all, we spent a fortune at this hotel. At the time, as I say, money was good for us, and we could treat people. We could treat ourselves, and we could treat other people in our families. And I think we hired out most of this actual hotel. We just paid for everybody to stay. So it was a lot of money, but in our opinion, it was worth it. That's Terry, that's Chris's stepson from previous marriage. And here we go here. So there's Holly and some of the page boys. There's Luke and myself in the carriage here. And he did, you know, like the fatherly talk. If you want to change your mind, Mum, you can change your mind. So here we are being helped out of the carriage. And then Luke and I have a lovely photograph done here. And here we are walking in. That's Luke and I sort of walking up to the ceremony room. This is Chris here, waiting for me here. And my sons were all stood at the end of the aisles, and as I walked up, they kind of popped forward and gave me a kiss. Look, so sweet. That's Alison, one of Chris's daughters, and there's Luke here giving my hand in marriage. This is Terry handing over the wedding rings. As Chris put my ring on. Exchanging our vows here. And me putting his ring on, and we've now been pronounced husband and wife. Now when I walked into Have I Told You Lately That I Love You by Van Morrison. Beautiful, love that song. And this is the signing of the register here. There we go. There we are, all married. My bouquet had I wanted white lilies because they're my absolute favourite. I love them, and little crystals in there and everything. But because it was a winter wedding, I had mistletoe put in there as well. I had like their buttonholes done. I had little crystals in my hair, look as well. Crystals in my hair. Chris had a funny 5 minutes there. Look, he got a bit emotional, and then he got really smug. Can you see? You see the smug look on his face, like, now I've got her. Oh, our registrar, she was lovely. These, we decorated all of this, or we had somebody do it for us. We just went and bought the little tiny Christmas trees, put them in little plant pots, and then we bought the shepherd's crooks with the lanterns on. We had a master of ceremonies because we haven't had experience of going to lots of weddings in the past where people are talking or people are trying to do their speeches, and given the fact that our children, even though they were grown up, they were still quite young, and it took quite a lot for them to be able to do their speeches, and we didn't want people being rude and talking. Not that they may have been, but you know. So anyway, I would say if you can afford to do it, get a master of ceremony, because he made sure everything ran like clockwork. It was literally a military operation. It was amazing. Everyone was doing what they were meant to be doing at the right time, so it just went. Our wedding was a big thing with loads of things going on, so it had to run in like military style really, and it did. So that was our master of ceremonies here. Then what we wanted to do is we wanted to release some doves, just 2 doves, and here they are, and these were to represent people that couldn't be here, as in parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters that we've lost along the way now. And so here we are releasing our doves for just in memory of those that couldn't be there with us. And here they are flying away. This picture here cracks me up actually, because as everybody here is looking at the doves flying, we're having a sneaky snog. So then, because obviously myself and Luke, we got to experience the horse and carriage. Now normally if you're married in a church or somewhere else, then you're going on somewhere else to your reception, then the groom gets to obviously experience it as well. But you know, with us getting married here, Chris he wouldn't have been doing that, so we arranged for just us to go out in the horse and carriage and to go around the New Forest for a little while, and that's what we did, and it was beautiful. Over here is Tom. That's my friend that's just died recently. My best friend Wendy, that's her partner who died. Some funny little black and white ones. There we are by the Christmas tree here. 3 of them boys. You know what photographers are like, they like to do funny little poses, don't they? So we're down here. The idea is the three boys are on the staircase. They're peeping behind the door. That's Ethan and Holly, Luke, and that was his girlfriend at the time, because they are again peeping. Some of our guests that were here, and yeah, it's so sad because Wendy, my best friend, she's gone. Tom's gone. Lucy's gone. You know, suddenly you start losing friends, don't you? Kids, the groom's party, some son-in-law there. This is us with Ethan here and Max. This cracks me up. That's typical of Hannah. Absolutely typical of Hannah, smiling like that. And there's Chris's girls and the grandchildren on that side that were born then. There's been more. And then Max decides to hide under the table and Hannah's down making him laugh. This is Casey. She was my bridesmaid. At the time, she was the only granddaughter at the time, yeah. So that's her little dress. I love this. The way the kids are playing. I wanted lots of little natural shots as well. So this was the wedding breakfast, my son doing his speech. He was so nervous, but he got it out there brilliantly. And Chris doing his speech here, and he started it off cheekily by saying, I'd like to thank my expensive, my dear wife, yeah. The reindeers here, we actually bought those as well, and they put them outside because where it was a Christmas themed wedding and our tables were named after, I think you can see here, Rudolph. We were Rudolph, we had Dancer, Prancer, all the reindeer names. So we had to have some reindeer. And the favours on the tables were, we adopted a reindeer and gave everybody certificates so that they could go visit the reindeer if they wanted to. A few more little romantic-y ones. My rings, Chris's rings, just sort of on the staircase there. Sat on a little love seat, him whispering sweet nothings in my ear, and this backdrop is from my dress. That was our wedding cake. I wanted a very simple wedding cake. It was all just very, almost looked like it had frost all over it, just very, very simple with lilies on. And we went out and out and we had some entertainment in the evening. We actually paid for the London Community Gospel Choir to come down to the wedding and perform as entertainment. Yeah, that was a little bit expensive, that one was, but it was worth it. It was so different. Everyone that came to our wedding has said and still say they've actually not been to a wedding quite like it. We could choose the colour of their robes. We could choose, I think it was 6 or 7 songs that they would sing, and it sort of started with them on the stage. I don't know if I've got a picture of them on the stage, I don't. Them on the stage, and they were behind the curtain. Nobody knew that they were going to be there. So Chris got on the stage to thank everybody for coming again, and then he said, "This is the happiest day of my life." And as he said, the happiest day of my life, the curtains were opened and the gospel choir started to sing Happy Days, you know, oh happy days, that one. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Then we had a disco in the evening and we had balloons. Right, so I'll just keep my wedding dress in here in this box and keep that under the bed. I'm going to take it out and just lay it on the bed so that you can just show it to you quickly, really, so that you can see it. Right, here we go. So I'll sort of start at the bottom of the dress. Obviously it's crease, it's been stored. Right, so that's, if I can get a bit of a shot of sort of the width of the bottom, and then it had this little loop here so that I could just tuck the dress up when I was dancing. And there you can see, I'll just zoom in, there you are, you can see all the little buttons at the back, and then of course you can see I didn't have to wear a bra with it because she put cups in it for me. And this is just the front of the dress, so you can see how much longer it was at the bottom, like the train bit, you can see how much longer it was. And then I'll go from the other angle, I think. It is very creased, obviously, because it's just been stored away. There you go, that's like a shot there. So it was in this beautiful ivory. Okay, and so then the lacy bit was like an overcoat, if you know what I mean. It was an overlayer. Although it was only lace, it did keep me really warm outside, just because it was purely so heavy, that's why. So it's got all along the bottom, it's got all the scallop in here, and then sort of going up here, the same again on this side, look, and then going up to the top it closes. So I'll just go over there, show you from a different angle. So it just does up here with that little these little clips here, with little clips there. Just put that like that for now, just for the purposes of the video. And then the sleeves are like this. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about this now. As I'm showing it to you, I'll explain it. So when I was choosing my dress, I really didn't know what I had in mind. I wanted something that resembled the biggest sort of wedding for Chris, really. I obviously didn't want to have white. So I had something in mind, but I didn't know what it was. It was something like this, but it wasn't exactly this. So I went to one particular bridal store in Southampton and made an appointment to go there and sort of talk through what I wanted. And I tried on umpteen dresses. Didn't really like any of them. They weren't doing it for me. But I liked a part of that dress and a part of that dress and a part of that dress. What we decided to do was to take elements of all the different dresses. So that's exactly what I did. I wanted buttons down the front. I wanted something in this colour and this fabric. I wanted a lacy jacket, long jacket to fit over the top with long sleeves, and everything out there wasn't exactly what I wanted. Josephine, her name was, and myself, we sort of sketched something out. Felt really happy with it. And then I said what I wanted on the lace. I said what I wanted, and I wanted, because I was having pearls in my bouquet, and Chris bought me a pearl necklace and earrings to wear. I decided I wanted to have pearls, so these are the little pearls that are all sewn in, and they're all hand sewn in as well. And the lace itself, this wasn't lace that was just sort of bought off of a reel of fabric. This piece of material was then hand laced. So this was all done in Spain. She said that the lady in the shop knew somebody in Spain who would be really happy to make this for me, and that's exactly what she did. It took a while, it cost a fair bit, but as I say, the only reason we could do it was because back then we could afford to spend the money. Now Chris obviously doesn't work, I've only got my dog business, and we're both retired, so it's a whole different kettle of fish. But you know, we've done it, we've been there, we've had fabulous times, and I have absolutely no regrets at all. yeah, so that's what she did. It got, the design got sent off to Spain. We discussed it backwards and forwards for a little bit and came up with the final design, which was this. And yeah, it was all this was all hand embroidered, and all the little beads, you know, the little pearl style beads were all hand sewn in as well. So that is my wedding dress. And one of my daughters is already married and she didn't want to use this dress. Not that I would expect it to fit her or anything, but I did say if you want it and you want to have a dressmaker do something with it, but keep this as it is but be taken in. But she didn't want to do that, so I've got one daughter left, I've got Hannah left, and she's always said, Mum, I want your wedding dress. If ever I get married, I want your wedding dress. You know, even if she has to have it customised, which she probably will, but at least the dress won't be going to waste, and it's a beautiful dress. So yep, that's my dress. And these are my shoes, my wedding shoes. They were so comfortable, really comfy. So the colour is exactly the same because we had them dyed exactly the same, and they've got the little sort of diamante here, and they're not high at all. I couldn't walk in anything really high, so they've got like a little sort of kitten heel really. But yeah, they are my wedding shoes. If my daughter ever wanted to wear those, she could. She's got the same size feet as me.
Show me your soul, baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul, honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show